So there we go. You can see it in all of its glory. We have the finals lineups. And first on the plate today will be a pretty crazy matchup, and it will be Terror against Technics. Two of the team's heavyweight players coming out first. Terror, arguably the best player, although he's been a little bit shaky here of late, arguably the best player on LagFree. And then we have Technics, who, if not for Zeke, would almost certainly be LRM's #1. So we're going to get things started off in style with what, hopefully, will be a freaking fantastic game as we go into Game 1 on Overwatch. So, spawning in the bottom right hand, as the red Terran, we have none other than not Zergboy. We have Terror. And in the top left-hand corner, as our orange Zerg, we have LRM's Technics. So we will see if these guys came to play today. You didn't know Technics was that good? He's only like played great games against Zeke and made it like way far in like every TLS and stuff. You know, it's not like he's had solid results for years or anything like that. I actually don't know how you didn't know Technics was that good. Because he's absurdly ridiculous. Alright, so we have 2 SCVs going out for Terror. I wonder what that means, guys. What do you think 2 SCV is it like 9 supply means? It means a depot. That's actually weird. That certainly looked like it was going to be BBS. This is like, what is this? What is this? Supply depot with fast scout? Is that really what this is? That was like... That would be so funny if Terror did that, just thinking, oh yeah, the commentator's going to be like, definitely BBS. And then it's like, nope, it's just supply depot and a fast scout. And this is actually going to hurt his economy quite a bit, though. Like, he builds the depot far away. He takes another SCV off. Well, I guess that's not normal barracks timing. Okay. So pool on the way for Technics. And barracks going down, so Terror's going to wall off here at the natural. And Technics dropping the hatchery. And a bunch of Lings move into production. I believe that is 3. I believe there's Lings in all of them, yeah. So it's going to be a full 6 Lings, but against a wall, you won't get too much done. And 6 Lings out from Technics. Oh, he's going to leave 3 back to chase the SCV. I think he almost gets it. Needs 2 hits on the SCV to get rid of it. Can Terror keep it alive? Technics splitting up his Lings. Of course, there's a wall down here, so not really in any danger. And Technics unable to get the SCV so far. Now going to leave just 1 Ling to chase it. And it looks like Terror's actually going to leave the base. And coming to the front is like, okay, it's a wall. And gas going up pretty quick here for Terror. And there's the eBay, so probably +1 5 racks type of build. And Technics getting his 3 hatcheries, has his gas going, so very standard looking opening. And this SCV is 1 hit away from death. eBay about to finish, and there's enough gas, so we should see +1 go up in this thing right away. And there's the Academy as well. Yep, and +1 starts immediately. And we can see... Okay, Technics has only just started mining his gas. And oh, a layer being morphed at the natural for Technics here. And here begins the slew of barracks production. And a creep colony going out for Technics as well. Looks like he's going to follow through with that even on scouting the front. And we've got the second barrack. Should have a few more coming down here in just a sec though. So those minerals start to increase. There we go. 4 racks. Make it 5. So +1 5 racks on the way from Terror. Of course, Stim. Got the lair done. Oh, and it's Lurker opening for Technics. So for those of you wondering how to play 5 racks +1 against Lurker opening, this could be a good game to watch. No guarantees, but... Actually getting a bunker at the front. I guess that'll be so when he lifts and moves out, he still has a bunker in case of run-by or something. But that looks so defensive right now, like a wall with a bunker behind it, like what? But hey, maybe it's a bunker thing, so they're just going to signature build bunkers anytime there's a Terran range on the way. And Technics moves quickly to take his 3rd base. Actually going to take this well before any Lurkers are out. And now all 4 racks have kicked in. And we have the drone and Hydras transfer over to the 3rd base here. Of course, this has to be a little bit careful. We'll need Lurkers on both sides of these ramps to keep this base safe. Or perhaps he'll just play and reposition his Lurkers if he knows which side Terra's going to come. And the first little move out here with a bunch of medics and marines. Quite a few medics made initially here for Terror. And Technics adding another hatchery already, so Technics looking to be on pretty strong eco. Supply's not that high for him yet though, but looking at the saturation, it is very nice at these 2 bases. And now we've got Terror moving out, and of course he will have a lot of production. He's actually going for 6 racks here before any sign of tech, so this is going to be a ton of marines. I hope he's got a depot making. There's the factory. He does not have a depot. He's going to get a little bit supply blocked here. Yeah, he's at supply block now, so minerals might roll a little bit higher than Terror intended, because that depot is somewhat delayed. And unfortunately this side of the ramp is exposed. Looks like Terror's just kind of making his way across the map now. Oh, whoa. Whoa, that is atypical. Technics doing reverse style play, going Lurker first, transitioning into Muta. So that is interesting. So we're going to have a little bit of Muta harass coming to the main, which could be very awkward for Terror. Now let's see if Terror comes around the... Oh, I think he is going to try to go around the other way. Technics is going to need to reposition these... Okay, that's exactly what he's going to try to do. Will he get there fast enough? Yes, he will. But Terror can just try to go around both sides, or even split. That's the danger, is he could split and try to go both sides. And oh no, he's catching the Muta a little bit out of position, but Technics does react. And is going to group those guys up, gets a nice shot off on those front ones and the firebat. Wow, the control looking very crisp from Technics so far, picking off everything. Does lose 1 Muta there, but the control very nice, and has reduced this now to just a not so scary group of about 6 Marines. 7 Marines, I don't know if I can count or not. And Technics looking to be in a very good spot so far. And now flying in here. These Marines are very tightly grouped though, so I don't even think he'll micro against that. Oh, if this happens he might, but does get a Muta picked off, and Terra's probably like, what is this guy doing? Why is there suddenly Muta out? This doesn't make sense. Zergs don't play this way. No sign of Hive yet, so I think we're going to see a bigger lair army here from Technics to defend. Whoops, flies a Muta over a few of those Marines. And now that Marine group looks a little bit bigger, a little bit more intimidating. Not quite an army of death, but got a tank coming out. Should have a vessel fairly soon. There it is. Still no sign of Hive or Queen's Nest here from Technics though, so definitely going to be relying on a large lair army to deal with this first tank vessel push. So a lot of this will be about the control and about whether or not Technics can get off a decent flank when Terra moves in. A lot of times what you'll see is Zergs will wait till the Terran sieges up here, and then they'll have a bunch of lurkers here, and then they'll put a bunch of lurkers here, and then they sandwich from both sides, and Terran takes some pretty significant losses. Oh, bro! And Terra moving back, picking off all of those lings. But we can see Technics is almost caught up in supply to Terra, which is a bit scary. I mean, the supply is going to be a little bit higher than if you're rushing to Hive, as you are getting more units out, but still. Anytime Zerg is on par with Terran supply, and oh no! The tanks! One goes down, and the other will maybe get saved. I gotta be careful, that bunker is actually fully loaded. Fully garrisoned. Oh, okay, Technics has lost a good number of Muta there, and several others seem to be in very low health. And obviously that's more lurker laying, and Technics is actually going for this attack. I don't know, Skyline or Terra spreads well, he should be fine. It's not the best of control, but I think it's sufficient. There's only a few lurkers left now. It does get the tank, but I don't know if it's worth it to lose all of that army for just that. And now Terra suddenly takes back a nice little 15 supply lead, but Technics is macroing like crazy. Actually hasn't droned up very well at the third, although the drone saturation at the other bases is still pretty darn good. And there is a vessel now with this attack, but lots of units out for Technics here, and they are moving in. Target fires down that lurker nicely, and a lot of lings moving in here. Dying to the Marines' buddies fighting in range. The lurker needs to pull back from that. Tank sieges up nicely, and now the lurkers from Technics will probably be forced back, and good spread there from Terror. Control looking pretty nice from both players, and Technics forced back up onto the ridge. Irradiate going down here, although Terror's going to need more Marines coming out, which he... Oh, whoa. I think we had a little bit of too much micro. And with Technics macroing away really, really, really well. Look at that mineral count. In the middle of a fight, has like 2 minerals. And holy shit, that is a lot of lurkers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's like 15 lurkers maybe. Maybe more. I don't even know. That's a lot of lurkers. That's almost 1 lurker for every Marine. So unless he does some amazing stuff with the tanks, he is not going to get anywhere against this. And oh, look at this. This is kind of a nice move though. Trying to pull him out of position with the threat of drop at the same time. Very good here from Terror. And a bit of a mistake here from Technics, watching the drop a little bit too much, which is now going down, losing some drones in the main. This move from Terror seems to be pretty good so far. Lots of burrowed lurkers, but we can see he's already killed most of the drones in the main. Only a few were saved. And is he going to circle back around and try to get the rest of them? It looks like he might. Lurkers are being morphed here. And Technics is going to just put them up here on this high ground base, so he doesn't have to be quite as scared of this army. Terror sieging up, and the pool is being targeted down. Technics is going to lose his pool. Not ideal when you're at a Lair Tech Zerg. But these lurkers will finally finish this off. Another drone does die. And Terror is actually microing this pretty crazy. Terror really seems to be actually multitasking as well. He's actually moving both armies around, although just as I say that, we do see those Marines finally dying to lurkers. And now Technics is facing siege at this base. A nice D-matrix on this front tank to keep this Ling from being annoying. And now Technics needs a flank, that is for sure. And oh no, he's being J-donged! He's being J-donged by Lings at the ramp! It's not if this takes too long... Okay, he notices it. And now he's sending everything he has, but it's not the most coordinated flanks trying to come down. But it looks like on this side the Marines are killing everything, and Terror is spreading really nicely. This is actually close at this point. Technics supply is dropping like a rock, which is not the situation you want to Zerg. He's up the ramp. Terror, is he actually doing it? It looks like he's actually broken Technics seemingly with multitask, which is a bit of a surprise. And the tank's cleaning up the lurkers here in the back. And the third now under siege. Terror is 3 times the supply. It's looking like he has the game. This Firebat trying to be a hero, but even with 6 medics of support... Whoa, save the medics. Save the medics. Or don't save the medics, I don't know. I don't know, he's attacking the hatchery with 1 Marine. He has not killed the 3rd base. And there is a lot of vessels, but the lot of vessels are... Well, he's going to lose 1. And he's trying to get 1 or 2 Marines up here. This lurker will soon die to tank fire, although these tanks are missing an incredible number of shots. I don't think Technics seemingly can get off enough units, and we've got a... it's not a vessel, not a drop, but it looked like a drop. This 1 Marine is trying to go in here and assassinate drones, but actually the tank is going to kill the hatchery. And Muta trying to be a hero, but that is so much medic healing. The Muta literally can't kill it, it's invincible. That 1 Marine, oh, he's got to reposition the vessel though if he wants to see up the thing. But he's trying to charge in at the natural. There's no meds though. He could have 12 medics, but instead he has no medics. Still looks like it'll be enough to break these sunken colonies. And there it is, GG. Terror just straight up outplays Technics and puts LagFree, a little bit unexpectedly, on the board, 1-0. I certainly expected Technics to win that game, especially as Terror has not been playing that well, but he sure as heck picked a great time to come back and play a nice game. And now it will be Castro against Choosy. That was a really nice game from Terror. And here we go, game 2 on Tau Cross. So spawning on the right side as the teal Protoss, we have Choosy. And in the bottom position as the orange or the yellow Zerg, we have Castro. Castro, old school A-. Choosy, I believe, is also A-. I think he's the one that just kind of returned to activity. I don't know for sure his form. And Castro, from what I understand, has been practicing quite a bit. So I kind of want to say Castro, I feel like, is a little bit favored. It's also ZVP, which is usually good. But we'll see. Certainly a game that either player can win. But if Castro does win, LagFree will be up to a pretty quick 2-0 lead. And as we saw from other games, players like Dandy beating Scan and winning his other game too, might be a little bit of a scary situation for LRM here if Castro takes this. They're certainly not going to be afforded many missteps if he does. Of course, Ziki is in the wings for LRM, but Ziki did not look, well, quite like Ziki in his game against Straw. He still played well, but wasn't quite fully sharp. And I guess that's the wall. I kind of like Forge Gateway more. But I guess that'll work. Should be tight. Yeah, watch. Dandy will beat Ziki by sending like 4 Dragoons in and just winning with Dragoons. And Photon Cannon going down as the pool is already up. Whoa. That could be a problem. That's 8 lings. 1 cannon is not sufficient for 8 lings by any means. Even 6 is a bit risky. If Castro picks up on this and goes in for the kill, situation could be a bit scary. Probe doesn't... Oh, okay. Probe should know there's 8 lings now. This should prompt this. Okay, good. We've got Protoss Photon Cannon, but oh god, is he gonna go for it? No, it looks like he's not. Doesn't have all his lings, and he has lost 1, and now the probes are pulled, so Choosy is taking this seriously. And there's the Nexus being dropped, and it looks like Castro is just gonna return home and try to surprise the probe, although it might be pegged to the home minerals. We'll see if he can get lings to surround it. Yeah, it's pegged home. So it will just goes through all those guys. And is this it is the second probe. Distraction! Psych! Castro does not see it either. And Castro is going to go ahead and take his third base. So he got 2 cannons up. Gateway here, this I believe is tight. And he's got probes blocking here, so Lings will not do anything. And here comes the little ninja probe. And there's gas. So Castro 3-hatch before gas, kind of the old school style. We'll have a little bit slower lair timing as a result. That hatch looks to be correct, as does that one. I believe they're both in the right spot. And now a nice tight wall of probes. Whoa! And another probe is out. Wait, did he lose the last one? What? I didn't even see how that died. None of these guys seem to have kills. Just vanished. Vanishing probe tricks. Alright, lair starts immediately at 100 gas. Core seems a bit late. Oh, so is gas. What? That is definitely a bit late for gas. Gas usually comes around 16 or 17 supply. He's made the zealot before the gas, which is a little interesting. And here comes another probe. That one, what? What is going on with this probe? It was like in the middle of the links. Kill it, Castro, damn it. Kill it. There we go. Gets that one. Oh, holy shit, that blended in perfectly. I couldn't see it. The hatch has actually been cannon rushed. That literally blended in with the minerals. I could not see the cannons. I only heard the cannon fire and was like, what is going on? But Castro losing his hatchery to cannons. So Choosy off to a pretty nice start. As that goes down. So Castro is obviously not going to be happy about that. And now Choosy going to be like, yeah, I'm in a pretty good position. Feeling good. And core just now finishing up. That explains much better the core being a bit late. As well as the gas, because he was making this. And there goes the Stargate up naturally. Yeah, 547 Stargate as opposed to a 430 Stargate. So it should make the Spire timings reasonably even. And here comes the Stargate. And getting a cannon here in the main bay. Wait, what? Ah, double gas, okay. So we are going to have Muta from Castro. Tons of gas, of course. And the Stargate is now just about done here for Choosy. And first Corsair will be starting. Spire's still a ways away from completion. And now he's got a bunch of links out, but I don't think he can actually run in here at this cannon yet. And the Spire just about done. Running up here with a lot of lings, but this is a nice tight wall of zealots. So these lings will not be doing anything. And out goes the first Corsair. Muta are in production. Looks like he has about 5 or 6 on the way. And +1 starting here, as well as the Citadel for Choosy. And getting some cannons at both of his nexuses. By getting a lot of cannons. And just taking a look at the Corsair. Needs to be careful here not to get too close to these Muta where they could just moving shot it down. Hopefully he hasn't made that mistake. I think he might be able to moving shot the Corsair if he stays close enough. And if he only seems to be getting off a few shots, it's going to be very close. No, it looks like it just danced out of range, so we'll be unable to kill the Corsair. But a lot more Muta coming, as well as some Scourge. But with this many cannon coming up, I think Choosy will be just fine. He's not going to be in danger of getting Ehan timinged. But he has spent a lot on cannons, so that is a saving grace for Castro. Although the loss of the third pretty bad. Castro reestablishing over at the other main this time. And here we go, the meter running in here, engaging a cannon, but they're in range of actually the Nat cannons too. And the Scourge are not being used yet. I don't know what they're doing. This is not the best control from Castro, but he does get rid of all the cannons at the natural base, but now he's got to deal with the Corsair, which are doing good damage to his Mutalisks, but more are arriving. Got to be careful of these natural cannons, though. Very easy to come in range of them, and with 3 Corsairs now, the Meta easily going to be chased off. So not really getting any super significant damage done. A couple probes do die in the splash fire, if you will. And the Hydrogen up Lurker actually starting now for Castro. And a Templar coming out for Choosy as well from the natural gate. We'll see if he's going to make an Archon. He might. No Storm on the way. He's getting light speed, so that's probably going to be Archon. And they need picking off a probe there, but they're not going to go engage in the main. That's way too many cannons to fight. And the drone transfer over to the 3rd base now. And Mita just trying to pick off on the Zealots. You can see that Castro has spread them out here. Doesn't want them all clumped against the Corsairs. And Lurker's just about done. It's worth noting though, Choosy is still behind in supply, and he has a pretty low probe count. Only a little more than 1 per patch in the main. Natural looks a little bit healthier, but I mean, Castro supply-wise is in an okay spot, and he is getting Lurkers, which is definitely going to be a surprise for Choosy here, as he has no Robo, so he's going to find himself pretty Lurker contained, which will give Castro a bit of a window to drone up, and has gone ahead and cleaned out those cannons. Should have Lurkers being morphed here any time now, as his Lurker upgrade is done. There we go. So yeah, this is going to be a bit frustrating for Choosy when he suddenly finds himself Lurker contained. Look at all those cannons at the front, man. That is a lot of cannons. He's actually entirely recannoned the natural mineral line as well. Maybe even going so far as to say that's a bit of an overreaction. Still no Robo. Or is that it? No. Alright, the no Robo thing is going to be really an issue. This is going to be a long period of containment once these Lurkers come up. Oh. I was a little worried about this base getting DT'd, but he does have an Overlord over there. Choosy moving out, but he's about to meet himself with a bunch of Lurkers coming up into his face. That, not ideal, but here come the Lurkers now. And now Choosy's going to be like, aw, you gotta be kidding me. Where's the Panic Robo? Show me the Panic Robo. Is that it? There's the Panic Robo. So now Choosy finds himself contained, and Castro is going. Oh, Choosy's gonna just go for it. No, maybe he was trying to pick off a Lurker as it burrowed, but it takes a lot of spines to do that. And now Castro gets a little bit of window of time, and he immediately uses it. Gonna start making some drones, getting up a real solid economy behind this, and getting his Hydra ups out as well. And supply is still very equal. And interestingly, Castro is not taking the base behind the main. He's going to take the open 4th base. I'm not actually sure the logic behind that, but I guess he's just hoping to hold us contained for a while. Robo's getting fairly close to being done. Goons are being added. The Dark Archon adding the very sexy touch to the Protoss army. And Castro is on... Well, he's only on 4 hatches right now, which is... Well, not that many hatcheries. And we should have the, gateways. Going up to 8 gateways, getting the observatory out, so there'll be an observer here fairly soon. But has this little frail contained bought enough time for Castro? This base doesn't really have SimCity, so it's very vulnerable to getting attacked by Protoss. And Castro's making a 5th base, so Castro is putting down a lot of hatcheries. But will this be sufficient time bought? As I think Choosy can break out of this reasonably... Well, actually the number of Lurkers is increasing, so this could get interesting. If Castro holds this for any length of time with the number of bases he's now put up, he's going to be really in a strong position. But if Choosy breaks out fairly easily right now, the game will be really, really difficult for Castro. Not that much production right now. He's only on 4 hatches. The others are only just now starting to come up. So there's kind of this window where Choosy, if he can do some good damage and break out, can be really threatening to Castro, but otherwise be in a very, very commanding position. Oh, Maelstrom! So goodbye, Mita. Mostly goodbye, Mita. He's going to suicide the Corsairs, but he's basically going to get the Mita, so he's going to lose the threat of Templar sight now. The Dark Archon appears to be dying in the process, though. He needs to get Templar up here with this group of Dragoons, but now he is able to shoot away at the front lurkers. Of course, very nice arc here set up by Castro. That's a bit annoying, and the Ob is not under threat, but he needs to get the Storms off, which he's not getting. The Templar cannot get up there to threaten on the Storm. Finally gets the Storm he wants. But are there enough Dragoons to bust out? I don't know. There's a lot of Lurker here right now. And Choosy moving forward, getting down a pretty good Storm on these Lurkers, and he is trying to bust out, but will he lose too much in the process? Zealots trickling in. There are a lot of Lurkers, but it appears to be only Lurkers at this point, so I think he'll be able to bust out, but he's got to keep his Obs in position to see the Lurkers. Also going to take too much damage. Another Storm is thrown down. Actually, this is a, well, thought it was going to be a really good Storm, but it looks like Choosy is breaking his way out. But it is hard to tell if he's bought enough time. Castor's supply is falling, and he should get out of here no problem now with 8 gateways. Still mining from both of these bases. He's putting up a third, so he's doing all the right moves. He is out of the contain now. And now it is a question of, does Castro hold on? If Choosy takes out a few bases here, the game will be really, really difficult for Castro. But if he holds, Castro is going to be in a very, very strong position. Supply is now at a pretty reasonable value for a PVZ. So the game kind of looks even, but the problem is Castro's got a lot of bases, a lot of drones well spread between them, and I don't know if Choosy has a big enough army to break through here right now. Lots of Hydra out, more Lurkers being morphed, and can he reinforce and get enough units down here? I just don't know. I'm starting to think Castro might have be a little too far ahead at this point for Protoss to really get back into, unless he just turtles hard. Telcross kind of a hard map from that, though, given how open it is. And another hatchery coming up from Castro. And Choosy does get his third up. And pretty big army from Choosy, but the problem is there's not many Templar in that. And not many Templar against a Mass Slayer army is really weak. So, oh, there's more. Okay, now with 4 Templar, alright, now I can move back out and actually do some pressure. But with just 1 Templar, a Gateway army fighting against that, not a smart decision. Yeah, 4 DTs in this base would be awesome right now. Oh, he's coming at the... That's not the best route even to come across. That's going to be narrow and hard to engage. And actually, he's putting up a sunken here too. Leading Templar throws down kind of a pre-storm. It's a half-decent one. Will the Templar be sacrificed? Nope. He'll get out alive. Ob's coming across here. And what do we have morphing? 2 sunken colonies. The Dragoons can range the front hatchery though, so that's a bit annoying. And it looks like there's going to be a bit of a group coming around here to counter. And Choosy's going for it. He's running in. There we go. Now pulling the Zealots back, keeping them near the goons. The army control from Choosy here. This is great position to engage, as most of the Lurkers are not fighting, and the Zealots are in good spot. But there's the large flank from Castro with Hydra. Needs the storm from the Templars. And is he going to get too caught? It looks like Choosy is getting trapped, and he's not going to be able to connect with his army. He's out of storms. The Lair army too strong. Down goes everything. Choosy now horribly far behind here to Castro, as he's just lost his entire army. He's going to be forced to turtle now for ages, although the 3DT drop here has cleaned up the top hatchery quite nicely. How many kills? 5 on this guy, 5 on this guy, and okay, so that killed about 20 drones. Sorry, about 15 drones. So yeah, talk about some damage. That kind of kept the game equal. I was like, Castro just won that battle really easy. Why is the supply equal? And I was like, oh yeah, that's why. Well, I did say a 4 DT drop would be good. 3 DT drop appears to have sufficed. But Castro, I don't think really cares. He can drone up. In fact, Choosy actually has to add more. Oh, no, it's a robo support bay. Oh, oh, and Ob's dying here. And Castro just chilling with a bunch of Hydra Lurk. And oh, the 3DT have been dropped because the shuttle has been found out. So they're just going to be kind of running around the map. The whole army having to run away from 2DTs. Oh, there's an overload with it now. Life is good. Three DTs will fight their way through all these lings. But how far in can they go? Oh, there was a pause. At a strange timing. Oh my god. For some reason Castro doesn't react. So suddenly Choosy is building up a supply lead now because these DTs are actually killing a lot of drones. That's a lot of drones. Alright, finally he's going to run now. Going to take down the Spire. Allow for a little more dropping to occur. And possibly the Evo Chamber, but no upgrade going on in that Evo Chamber at the moment. But he will not get the Hive. And finally some Hydra are actually brought back, and we'll clean up these DTs in the end. Surprisingly, Choosy is not running away. This DT is like 2 hits away from death. And that guy is picked off. But that's some pretty nice damage. You can see the drone count is pretty good at these 2 bases. Actually, drone count's still okay at 3 bases. And he's transferring some more over, so it's not that terrible for Castro right now. I mean, you can still see the supplies are not that dramatically different. Castro's still in an okay position for supply, but the drops definitely took Choosy from holy shit, I just lost the game to alright, I'm in this, I'm in this. You know, I need more bases, but I'm in this, I got a chance. Of course, Choosy is having much bigger problems. Choosy is down to 1 base mining only, whereas Castro is actively mining from about 4 bases. And Choosy sending over a large number of gateway units here to clear this out so he can try to take a 4th. And Castro is now on Hive Tech, but is not really spamming lings at this point. Also has a hell of a gas bank. And Choosy just has a bank in general. And now Choosy kind of moving around with his army. I think he doesn't want to quite move out yet because he wants to get this base up. Alright, so here we go. Castro, or Choosy's coming in, just charging forward, full steam ahead. A lot of Castro's lurkers aren't burrowed though, so that's allowing Choosy to just kind of wreck the initial bit that's here, and Castro now in full retreat here away from Choosy's army. Cannon's going up, no sign of the Nexus yet, but lots of units back over here. Hopefully these guys have Adrenal. Hard to tell, but I assume he does. He's had high for a while. And coming around the other side, let's see if these lings have crack on them. I don't know if they do. I don't think they do, actually. They seem to be dying really easy. Really good storms from Choosy here, who is trying to break through. He's lost a lot of his zealots, though, and there are still a lot of lurkers down. More good storms coming up, hitting just about everything, but he is down to just goons now, and lings are being flooded from all sides, and it looks like Choosy might once again be overextending himself. The lings coming in from the backside. There's one Archon here to help this. It is not getting targeted, but yeah, this army is going to get chased away by the reinforcing units from Castro as Choosy does overextend and again loses another entire army, And I think at this point, Castro is actually going to have the game. This base is not dead this time. And it is just not going to be a good situation all around. He is trying to get this base up, but oh man, loss of another entire army. And Chusey was able to reproduce an army, something of an army, a little bit faster than expected, because he did have that bank, but then again, that's not that much of an army. Yeah, a bit odd that Castro is low on minerals because he's mining pretty well. What do I see there? See the big dudes. That is a lot of reavers. Getting his carapace on the ultras. Holy lurker morph. Holy lurker morph. Well, he does have the gas extra. And here comes a bunch of Zealot Archons once he's finished. Oh, if the Reavers can get these though. Ouch. Ouch. That's like 10 lurkers he just lost, but he's got a lot of ultra. But I don't know if it's enough to just charge into this Reaver army. But Castro's going for it. I think these ultra are gonna suffer a little bit. This might actually be cost effective here for Chusey. Who is trying to power forward with this army. Lurkers burrowing, but with all these Archons and Reavers here that are just kind of mashing through this force. He's trying to break through at the front. What is in back here that is not being sent in? Some Ultra and Hydras. Ling's coming out, but Lings are going to have a hard time touching this army. He's going to need to spam some Hydra to get rid of it. There we go. There's some Hydra. And oh no, the Reavers are exposed. The Ultra on top of them. Suddenly the army again is devoured by Zerg. And finally Castro takes the supply lead now. And by convincing 15, and there are not that many more units left from Chusey, who says GG, and LagFree takes a 2-0 lead. And we will be going into Game 3 of LRM vs. LagFree on Destination. So spawning in the top position as the red Protoss, we have Bonth. And in the bottom position as the teal Terran, we have Dandy. Yes, this looks about right. So, let's see what happens. Bonth, known, very famous for 2-base Reaver into Carrier. But let's see what he has planned. Will he go with that? I think he's done that in perhaps even every one of his games so far against Terran in STL. I know he's done it at least 2. So we'll see if he again does that. He's coming out very fast with a probe, though. This might be a bit of a proxy. Where's he going to make this gateway? Maybe just a bit of a forward gate, although Terrans have a tendency to wall. Huh. He's got a pylon here. Okay, maybe this is just a gas steel probe. Of course, Dandy riding high after beating Scan in the game. We'll see what happens now. He'll be in there in time for the gas seal. Unless, of course, he just cuts minerals and's like, oh, probe, shit, take gas. He's gonna take the gas. Denied. Of course, it will delay the barracks slightly. But Dandy's having none of the gas steel. You can't out-cheese a Peruvian. It just doesn't work. Except apparently if you're Chusey, you can. Bonth going crazy with the probe, gets the barracks down. Dandy does, although not in the usual wall position. And gateway and gas for Bonth, who is being super annoying with this probe right now. Doing the little stop micro. Did Bonth intentionally place his gateways in a face position? Because that kind of looks like it's meant to be like a skull. Like you can see the two eyes and like the mouth, I don't know. Bonth's doing this intentionally as a message to Dandy like, bro, you're dead. I'm coming for you. Like that is skull face on the map. And out comes the SCV. Of course, there is a Zealot out now, and Dragoon on the way. Probe still harassing. And what the, one Marine only lift? Oh, he's gonna wall, okay. Okay. Well, you better come over here and build the depot. Oh, he's not building the depot there. Is he gonna put down a partial depot and then just leave, or what? Or is he gonna let the Zealot in? I don't know what to expect. He's only got one Marine, though. He's about to have number of Zealot problems. Hashtag Zealot problems. Okay. So the Zealot is just going to walk in with only one Marine, and there's no SimCity. Of course, Factory's pretty close to being done, so we'll have a Vulture soon, but... well, that's a bit awkward. So we're going to lose a few SCVs here. One down. Oh, nice block so far. It's a bit strange. I don't really know why he made only one and left his wall open even after seeing the Zealot with his scouting SCV. So he's gonna have to micro against this. He's forced to make a Vulture first, and there's already a Goon on the way. He's got a second Marine out now. This is so weird. I don't know if Dandy was just like AFKing on this or what, but now there's a Goon here for Bonth, and the Vulture is gonna get blocked off from running out. And is going to kill the Marines, it looks like, since they do the most damage. Actually, the Vulture does until the shields are down. Then when the shields are down, the Vulture's pretty weak. Trying to repair, but is the repair enough? Nope. And he is now adding on, so he's got nothing to defend, and a second Goon is coming. He's got only this one Marine. Range is not done yet, and will not be for a while. Thankfully, Bonth is only on one gate. Dragoon's tank begins, but there's going to be a second Goon in the base. Well, okay, he's walled it off. Beforehand, and Bonth is trying to micro like crazy against this one. Oh, that's why, because the Goon was almost dead. So there's actually not going to be two Goons in the base. Going to kill the SCV at the wall, though. And now the tank is out. This Goon probably should walk away. Runs forward. I think he's got range now, so the tank is going to be very careful. Bonth is putting on some very nice harass. Moves forward, trying to get some damage on for that tank and actually kill it. Needs to get an SCV over here to repair this depot. There it is. It's close, but he's got two just in time. And moving forward on that tank. Oh man, that is close. That's close. He's got to be so careful. He's doing a nice job, though. Danny's doing a nice job, too, switching his SCVs off. As long as he doesn't let this depot fall. Oh, siege is up. Trying to break in. Third Dragoon comes, and he's going to back off. But he's going to probably lose one in the retreat, yep. So Dandy will hold with his modified siege expand. I'll call it a panic siege expand. And, of course, Bonth is putting down a Nexus and has two more gateways on the way. Probably going to get a shuttle, yes. And we're going to see a little Bulldog action. And, oh, actually it's going to be Reaver, maybe not Bulldog. I thought with the 3 gates up so fast, he was going to make a few Goons and then pop a few Zealots with the shuttle and Bulldog, but seems that will not be the case. So we're going to have Reaver instead. Arriba, arriba, arriba. Gonna make 2 Zealots to go with it. We'll see. Doesn't have to start that though until the Reaver's like half done-ish. Nice little spotter pylons everywhere. Got some turrets going up here. Is he gonna make a complete turret wall? Obviously the back's still super exposed to harass, and of course has this entrance down here still open. As is the back of the natural, although there's 1 tank sieged up there. Alright, 2 Zealots? Maybe? Nope. Gonna bring a goon with him, actually. Well, we know Bonth likes 2 base... Yep. Yep. Just like always. I see Stargate. Oddly enough, only 1 Stargate so far. And there, okay, there's 2 Zealots made. So out heads the shuttle of Bonth, up against the turret wall, but not turret wall, of Dandy. 1 Stargate only so far. And there's our 2 Stargates and Fleet Beacon. 2 base, Reaver, into carrier. And not gonna be able to come in this way. Can come in down here though. Oh, he wants a bulldog. He actually wants. Oh! How adorable is that? That is cool. Shuttle Dragoon turret snipe to make an entrance hole. Of course, he could have just gone around the back, but hey, this was the fancy way of doing it. You know, this is like the Armani way of getting a Reaver into the base or something. And Scarab! Is it gonna dud? Oh my god. Oh my god! The Comsat Imba. Oh! Just barely picks the Reaver up in time. Doesn't get a Scarab off though. Does he have Zealots left? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Dandy's running around like a madman with the vultures. The shuttle is being scary. Using his time. Of course, there's... Oh, there are Comsats, so he could actually scan and maybe notice the carriers. I don't see an... Oh, there's an armory down, actually. Oh, Vulture! Vulture heading out. We got Goliath in production, but that could just be because of the shuttle. We'll have to see how many more Goliaths are made. And he gets off a nice shot there, and he's going to get off a second one. Picks up the Reaver. Control from Bonth looking okay so far. And now bombing the tank needs to pick the Reaver up soon. Takes a little bit of splash. Oh god, it's getting splashed. And all of a sudden Goliath, but he can't exit that way. He can't exit that way. I think the shuttle is doomed. Oh wow, nice pickup though. And the shuttle is doomed. And the Reaver dies. So that is adios on that guy. And we do not have Goliath production, so this remains unknown and unseen for the time being. As Bonth is chasing those vultures around. And 3rd command center up for Dandy. And Goliath range is started, but no more Goliaths. Getting his +1 armor. Nah, still no Goliaths. Still no Goliaths. 2 base carrier is the only, well, in every PvT I've watched with Bonth, he has done 2 base Reaver into carrier, so he doesn't seem to do much else in PvT. So in this case, yes, it is 100% normal assault. It's the expected maneuver. No Goliaths. And we're up to about 3 carriers? No, just 2, I guess. Wait, is there? Are there 3? I don't know. I don't know! 3rd base up for Dandy. And now the Dragoon's moving down for Bonth, but there are a lot of tanks set up over here. Although with the... Well, no, there's too many facts. Too many facts. Right now, still no Goliaths. Somehow Scan has not found this, despite the fact he's had scans for a while. Oh! Well, that's why. He's had him for a while, but he don't want to burn him. Bonth's gonna need a 3rd base here fairly soon. Mineral's running a bit low. Wow, this is like, I got scanners, but I don't use scans. Like we have last scan, out of scan, apparently we need no scan too. Apparently Bonth is gonna run in here onto a billion tanks with like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. This is what we call suicide. Suicide! Kills a couple tanks, but, you know, loses everything else. But, still got about 3 carriers. And now the carriers are going to be revealed very early, actually. And Bonth taking a third over here on the left side. And now it looks like I see Goliath coming out. So yes, he's obviously aware now that there are carriers. Well, certainly he's aware now. What are these interceptors I hear? So Dandy's going to have to run away. And down go some tanks getting picked off here by Bonth. But he runs into Goliath. He runs into Goliaths. He needs the carrier control. Picks off another Goliath. But there come the goons. And those will take care of those. And now the third base is going to be under fire. We can see, oh my god, turrets! Carriers, oh shit! Alright, and the Goliaths are getting picked apart by the carriers right now. Not that many out. This is kind of that dangerous time where if the Goliaths die before he can start getting a critical mass, he can almost just get overrun by carriers. He has to be very careful at this point. Actually, Bonth is doing a nice job here picking off Goliaths with his Dragoons, and the tank count has been lowered. Perhaps that was what the suicide was intended for, but it still seems a bit odd to just run all those goons in and do that. It was a hell of a trade, because he only got 3 tanks or so out of it, but he's going to get rid of every tank, and now the goons move in, and suddenly Dandy's got Protoss problems. Although that is not that many Dragoons. And he's actually getting chased back against the bridges, so the question now is, does Bonth swing over here with the Dragoons and attack the third base? And I don't even know what Dandy's doing. He's just taking a 4th base on this side. And whoa, Bonth wants to win, but that's a lot of Goliaths back there. Gotta move the carriers away. Bonth is just coming in here. He's going for the win. He doesn't care about the third base. Screw that. He is just gonna go for the win. Or maybe not. Or maybe. Or maybe. I mean, a lot of these Goliaths are dying. They're not trading very well against these Dragoons. I don't know where the reinforcements are. I see 2 carriers flying out here on the mini-map. Can he kill the Goliaths fast enough, though? I think what he's trying to have happen is prevent critical mass of Goliaths from being reached. A carrier does pop out. And now I think he's only got 2 carriers left, but he's got a few more carriers joining up, and then... okay, that's not reinforcements. That's oh, there's some reinforcements. Alright, so definitely the situation's still very tense. We can see how low Dandy is in supply, despite having 3 bases, well, sort of 4 bases. And this could easily swing quickly in favor of Bonth if Dandy is not careful. Losing the turrets on the high ground. There's a goon. Now he has access to third base, setting up, but I think this is not good, not strong enough. There's only 1 tank, and of course the Goliaths will all shoot at the interceptors by default. And he is again chased back across those bridges, and Dandy is having a lot of problems here as Bonth pushes him backwards. Now back to defending in the natural again, but almost all the Goliaths are gone, and there's a lot of Dragoons there. The 1 tank is picked off by the carriers. And it looks like Dandy is getting overrun here. 1 more reinforcement of Bonth will probably do it, as the carriers can pick off any tanks sieging up on the high ground. And I think Bonth is going to put LRM on the board here. And of course there's just 1 Dragoon here causing problems. Actually fighting back against it with his SCVs, but... Tanks trying to siege up on the high ground, but it doesn't matter. And there it is, GG. Bonth doing work for LRM with his signature build. Bonth says so much stress as he takes the game. So we will be moving into Game 4 on Coliseum, and that is going to be Boy against Bakaru. So we have not seen much of Baku here recently, so I'm curious to see how his form looks. So spawning in the top left-hand corner as our red Zerg, we have Baku. And over on the right side as our white Terran, we have Boy, who I don't think is BioBoy. If he is BioBoy, correct me. But I don't think... he could actually be. I don't know. Is he Bio Boy? I don't know. I don't know. If so, we have... Oh, I don't know how good Terran Boy is. Obviously, Baku's A-. I don't know how good Boy is. If he's Bio Boy, I think Bio Boy hit A-, but I don't think it's Bio Boy. We're saying it's Terran Boy, who I don't know how good Terran Boy is. But let's see if Baku has come to play. Last time I remember seeing him, I don't know, maybe this is too long ago, but I definitely remember watching him lose a game to Poetic on Oxide. But it's been a while, so we'll have to see what kind of shape he's in. Game saying that Boy is B- shit, so if that's the case, Baku's super favorite here. Shouldn't have too much trouble. Argnan saying he thinks Terran Boy is a little bit better now. Maybe he's gotten to B or B+. And Baku is going to go ahead and do a 12th hatch here. Wait, yeah, there we go. Drone heading out. That was just a scouting drone out first, though. Down goes the hatchery. And scouting SCV heading out for Boy. And in comes a scouting drone here. And everything looking pretty normal. No wall here from Boy, though. But feeling comfortable, just going to go ahead and drop the command center in the back. Bio Boy indirectly confirming he is not Boy, as he says he is cuter than Boy as well. And third hatch thrown down for Baku, and gas taken in 1 moment. There we go. And we're going to have more of the standard old school opening here from Boy, getting 2 racks first, and then he will be grabbing his gas. And he's doing old school, he's doing noob impersonation with unrallied barracks, just having multiple Marines just kind of chill unrallied. There we go. Now they spring into action. And Baku's going to float all the way behind the command center, it seems. Oh, and Baku does attempt a little bit of a run by here, and with only 2 Marines, got to be careful, but he does have the bunker. He's got 3 now, so he'll be fine. No fear. Trying to pick off an... Oh, there's actually 4 lings from Baku. Got to be careful, but it looks like the micro is pretty good. Baku can't seem to get anything. He gets 1 kill, but yeah, 4 lings die for that. 1 more trying to come in. The bunker's actually on garrison, so it will slip in. Okay. So at least Baku gets a scout. Oh, could have got the SCV, but the Marine comes back and kills the Ling. And Ling speed on the way for Bakuru. And getting a creep colony, but oddly not using the creep that provided here. Usually you can put 1 there and then 1 there and you got a pretty nice defense, but Baku getting a creep colony a little bit further back.
Spire is, or lair is done. Spire's back behind the minerals. Killing off that creep colony, and we have a bit of a poke out here from Boy. But I don't know where he's going. What? Do you think there's a lord over here? That is a bit odd. I guess he thought there was an overlord? He certainly knows Baku isn't on this side. Wow, Baku's making a lot of creep colonies. I think he's hoping that like this would prevent Baku. I thought he was actually going to try to kill this seriously to prevent Baku from like making creep colonies. Alright, so now we've got the 2 medics out. It's going to force, looks like 3 creep colonies from Baku, so he'll be safe. And eBay is on the way now. Stim finishing up. Oh, it's just cutting that. Okay, never mind. A few turrets coming up, so he does go to the front and kills that off. And Baku getting down his Hydrodon really fast too. Vito's popping out now. Looks like he's got about 8 or 9 out. And getting that +1 upgrade. Got the 3rd barracks coming up right now for Boy. And in come the Muta from Baku. Gonna pick off the turret here near the barracks. Nope, just the SCV, I guess. And grabbing an SCV, building a depot. Could actually kill the depot itself, too. But he's gonna pick off a few stray Marines. Not the best control there from Boy. And now Baku just goes to work. This depot is either died or forced to cancel, and he's actually gonna lose another depot. So Boy facing the supply block, and his Marines were too far out. Gotta be really careful here against Baku's Muta. There you go. Now he's able to join back up, and Baku does make it over the cliff. I think 1 Muta died in that process. But he has already killed a few Marines. Comes in there, picks off another SCV. Micro is looking okay, actually, from Baku today. Looked a little shaky in the game against Poetic. Oh, he's got to be careful that just 1 Marine could attract those guys in. But the Hydra are already out, and Lurker is on the way. 3rd base going down over here for Baku. And again, that SCV gets picked off. So you want to talk about some supply blocks. Terran Boy is suffering from some serious supply blocks right now. And Baku again coming for the SCV. And again gets it. He cannot finish the depot. He's got to, what's he making to keep his money low? I guess he's making, oh, he's trying to finally building a depot somewhere else. He's like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. And a decent number of turrets over there. And it looks like Boy is moving out. That is a bit risky with this. Does not have that many production from his Raxes, and there's a decent number of Lings on the field for Baku. And Baku will spot this force now. Of course, the Lurkers are already out, so we can easily just put those on the ramp. This will do absolutely nothing. It's a bit odd to see Boy moving out with 3 racks, like he's trying to do 3rd denial, as if he's playing +1 5 racks. Oh, actually Baku's just burrowed the Lurkers here, and again gonna kill off this creep thing. I guess he really hates these. Now he's kind of in this strange, sort of stranded position. Got the vessel coming up here fairly soon. And that is a lot of Lurker laying on the field for Baku. Who's going to try to trap these up? Oh, he's going to do Hold Lurker? Oh yeah! Spring the trap! Spring the trap! And the rest will just get picked off by the Lurkers and Lings. So much for that force from Boy. who is now left with just this relatively small Marine force. He has gotten up to 4 barracks at least, so he's getting a little more production, but a lot of queuing going on though. And oh, he's charging in here, but there's a lot of Lings. He's taking a lot of damage from the Lurkers. This is not going well at all for Boy. He pulls back, but pretty much everything is dead. Baku goes for the surround with the Lings and basically gets all of it. Only 2 Marines are escaped. Reinforcements coming to join up, and Baku will pull back, but Boy is just left with no army. He really is not going to be able to move out at all. And Defiler Mound is done now too. I don't know if Baku's gotten consumed or what, but Boy's okay. Just Baku starts consumed now, but he needs to get out. Or else he's going to get swarmed deeply into the natural. And Baku gets to move back slightly with the Lurkers, making a bunch more Lurkers back at home. And of course Defiler's now popping out. And here comes the Marine Medic Force. Modesty, so far there have not been any walkovers, so it doesn't seem like that's the case. And Baku may be planning to do a large counterattack and just defend at home with Swarm. That would certainly be a viable option here. He's got Nyask Canal, so he can get Swarms over to the front here as well. Just kind of leaving this army parked down here. But perhaps Boy knows about it. Because, well, he's definitely going to know about it now. Let's see if Baku is intending to counter. Or is he just looking to flank? I'm not sure. Gotta be careful here, though. And he's kind of splitting both sides. Alright, he's balling his army back up over here on this side. And now having a little trouble connecting up. Oh, there are some mines, though. And, oh my god. Those mines are about as good as they get. Killing off most of the Lings, which is really all that you can hope for. And now all Baku has to do is get a Defiler over here, and he can cause mad problems here for Boy. Although Boy is getting out a lot of Vulture Mines, so he might be safe from the counter. And Baku Boy with a lot of Lurker Ling getting Plague now out as well. And putting a few Meta up here being a pain, making it hard to get up here and take this base. Oh, where are all the medics? Okay, the medics are just down there. And sieging up, but of course there's going to be lots of Defilers with Swarm and stuff. One does get irradiated, but not the end of the world here. And here we go, moving forward, the Lurker's burrowing. And some Marines do die in the retreat process. The tank will also die. Baku, I think, wants to go after a Plague. Defiler's giving chase. They turn around, the Plague goes off, gets a decent number of them. Far from all of them, though. And Baku is now making his way towards the top of the third base. Swarm! Swarm, there it is! And the Marines all have to pull back, but they're basically dying anyway because there's a bunch of Lings chasing them. And there's still this small number of Marine medic out on the map. And he is getting a lot of mines on the map, which is good, but these swarms are going to prevent the third from going down for a long time. And oh, Invincible Defiler. And Ultras! Ultras! Oh no! Nowhere to run to either. He's pinned down against the swarm. So he's going to finally clean up what remains of this army on the map, and that's going to leave Boy very pinned back into his natural. And Baku is really trying to get the surround off. There we go. Finally gets it. And we'll pick off the rest of this army now. And these lurkers can finally be killed now. And down here, Boys established a third base. And we do see more of a mech transition coming up. He's getting up that third factory right now. Boom! Down goes a vessel. And oh man, I feel like Baku pretty soon is just gonna go for it and end the game. I mean, he's got like 5 bases. He's gonna find this here with 2 Ultra soon, which is gonna be pretty hard to deal with. In fact, with 4 Ultra. Alright, so the Ultra found the base, going to force a lift. The STV are going to have to run all the way back, wait for this army to come help. Not going to get any support, but this army appears to be only Marines, so they're actually going to get absolutely murdered by these Ultras, especially since these Ultras are not squishified by vessels or anything like that. And yeah, these STVs are going to end up running all the way home, so going to be back onto 2 base eco, which is really close to mined out 2 base eco. And finally, the Ultras are made squishy. Where is all Baku's stuff? When is he going to just like run out with like a tremendous number of units and kill him? And actually being forced to put factories on the high ground. Finally lifts his racks, but still not that strong a production going on here. A few vultures running into Ultra Ling, trying to lay a few mines, and he leaves the game. So the series is tied 2-2. And LRM is back in it. One more win from LRM and they can get to Ziki. And we'll be going into Game 5 on Oxide. So spawning in the top left-hand position from LagFree, we have ZD. I believe is an A- guy. He's shown some pretty good games. And in the bottom position as the pink Zerg, we have from LRM, Pike, who just recently beat somebody good. Who did he beat? Marwin? No. Skyline? Beat Skyline, I think. So, showed that he was in decent form. So what do we have here for opening builds? We have Overlord and Overlord. Nobody flinching yet.
And going for for pool. Well, need the minerals first. All right, what's it gonna be, boys? It's gonna be 12 something against 12 something. So we've got another round of this. Are we gonna have perfectly mirror builds? No, we're gonna have a 12 pool from Pike, I think. Yep. And 12 hatch from ZD. Terror won, and then it was Tau Cross game. Who was the winner of the Tau Cross game? It was a Zerg winning, right? Am I thinking right? Beating Choosy. Who was the Zerg? Castro. There we go. There we go. What's the verdict? Speed first. So we're gonna have some aggression here from Pike. And the lair starts as well. If we look over here, we have lair first, followed by Ling Speed from ZD. And interestingly, ZD or Pike got the speed, but really doesn't appear to be intending to do a serious attack. Lots of Lings on the way for ZD. And we have the Spire down for ZD as well. Pike's of course going to be a little bit behind as ZD with the 12 pool gets much faster. Or as Pike with the 12 pool gets much faster lair. And just gonna poke in there, but obviously not gonna engage as there's like twice as many Lings right now for Pike. I guess Pike's gonna try to hold on with the Sunken, but the ZD has an ominous number of Lings. And I think ZD is gonna go for an attack now. So Pike is gonna need to pump out Lings like crazy. And here we go, ZD runs up, but just actually not going to move out. I guess he's worried maybe about Ling backstab, so he's going to go to the front, kind of bait like he's attacking. No Lings run in, so now he's like, alright, now I feel good to move out with all of my Lings. Although maybe not. Maybe just going to poke around at the front with this one control group. And the Spire slowly coming up. And again, ZD comes down with these Lings, but I don't think he's actually going to attack. Muta's hatching for ZD as the Spire finishes for Pike, who is going to start up. A few Scourge or something? No, it looks like he's just making Lings right now. Okay, there's a pair of Scourge. Astro, I haven't seen that name in forever. It's been a few years since he used that AK. Whoa. Oh, Scourging an Overlord. Gonna put a little bit of a supply block. Scourge trying to trade for Scourge. And now a few Muta are out. And does Pyke intend to Scourge even more Overlords? I actually watched some absurd game between Effort and... who was it? Effort and Savior, I think? Where Effort played like Scourge Ling and basically played by constantly Scourging the Overlords and doing like Ling attacks. It was a really wild game that went on for like 20 minutes. And he like microed the heck out of his Scourge to like try and pick off Muta, so he made it really hard for Savior to get any respectable number of Muta, and then he had to keep defending with Muta, and it was like Effort never allowed him to leave his base. It was a really cool rep. It was on way old school some map. I can't remember what it's called. Rush Hour 3. It was a really cool game though. I don't think that's what Pyke's gonna do here, but I was just kind of thinking about that as he was Scourging some Overlords. Pyke has mined about 200 more gas from his natural. Checking the main gases though. Yeah, Pyke has just mined a lot more gas in general. ZT just has all these lanes. Being so lazy, they're just kind of sitting around in the natural, just chilling. Pyke at least has them in like a formation, but ZT's just like, yeah, they're there. They're just chilling. I honestly don't know what to commentate at these points. I don't know ZVZ well enough to even know any subtleties. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like all I can say is they're flying around. Alright, we're gonna have another game that ends by randomly meeting in the middle and one player not being on attack move and the other being on attack move. No, it looks like we won't. Alright, Spike's coming up here to be aggressive. Gotta be careful though, of course, when you're aggressive at the other person's base, they absorb a lot of splash, and you don't. But, okay, Pyke picks off a drone and a Ling and backs out, so that's cool. Maybe gonna kill this Overlord. Looking like it. Looking like it. Goodbye, Overlord, and ZD moves in. ZD moves in. Oh, Pyke loses a Muta a little bit carelessly there. Kind of has that one just chilling. Down goes that Overlord. Upgrade none. Upgrade none. Current upgrade. Oh, 1 armor on ZD Midas. And nothing on Pyke. So ZD has snuck in a 1 armor. Gonna reduce that splash a little bit. And here comes ZD down now with some Mutalisks. Or not really, just gonna kill something off the map. Oh, and ZD's gonna get +1 attack. Pyke is gonna respond with some +1 armor. ZD is way ahead though. ZD's always gonna be 1 upgrade ahead. Unless Pyke like double spires or something redonkulous. I wish I knew this part of ZVZ better. Like, I don't even know when you decide to attack and why. Alright, we're gonna have a little bit of an encounter! Okay, they're both paying attention this time at least. I feel like Pyke has more Muta, but I don't actually know. They both have 2 control groups of some number. Are we gonna have a fight? Nope, neither of them want to fight each other. Pyke should have the slight gas advantage, but... Both players kind of, well, then again, Pike has the disadvantage of upgrades, so there's that. Basically, both players just kind of spamming away on Muta, and Overlord of Pikes will fall 82. Wow, look at that supply, pretty high already for ZZ. Already up into the 70s. I need to go study with the Koreans for a while so I can cast CBZ better. Like, as a player, do you just kind of reach a point like where you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna attack and see what happens, or like what triggers you to attack when you're both turtling? You're not sure as the advantage. Like, you obviously don't want to fight the other person's base. Like, oh, ZDE's a fistful of Scourge. And ZD might be waiting for 1-1. We still got a ways to go before that point. Okay, True Tut's saying it's bad. He's losing an opportunity. Alright, here we go. Pike's going for it. ZD's going for it. He goes before his upgrade, which is a bit odd. Of course, Pike doesn't have his upgrade either, but ZD is fighting over Pike's base, which means a lot of splash will get absorbed to things like hatcheries and drones and sunkens, and it looks like ZD takes a horrible loss. He's obviously not learned from Jaedong vs. Soul Key that you don't fight at the other person's base unless you pull a Technics and bring all of your freaking overlords over to the other base to absorb splash for you. And suddenly the supply lead is 20 from Pike, and this game might be ending. Does ZD have enough? Can he get enough stuff to hold on? His upgrade's gonna finish, but so is Pike's really soon. Yeah, Pike's is now done too, so ZD's still one upgrade ahead. 1-1 versus 1-0. Pike's still being a little tentative though, which is kind of interesting. Maybe worried about getting Scourge. Gonna pick off some of the overlords here, although ZD is returning with his Scourge to fight and try to defend them. Pike not fighting with all of his overlords, or all of his Muta, and now he brings in the rest of the overlords, and ZD is on full-scale retreat. Pike with a huge supply lead, everything going down. Pike's supply lead appears to be growing even faster. Some of the overlords for ZD are soaking a bit of splash, but Pike just has way too many Muta counts. There it is, GG. And LRM takes a 3-2 lead. And uh-oh. Zeke time. Zeke time on Outsider. Outsider. And spawning in the white side, left side, as the white Protoss, we have Gundam. And in the bottom position as the yellow Zerg, we have not Pike, we have Zeke. So, in an odd twist of games, Zeke was the only player that lost last week for LRM, and every other strong SAS player was beaten. But we'll see if Zeke bounces back from that and can take care of Gundam. Of course, Gundam not nearly in the same caliber, same tier of players as Draw, but we'll see how he looks. We're going to have a pylon at the natural. Zeke popping that Overlord. Draw beat Zeke. It was if you haven't watched it, I just had to mention it was the best foreign game I've seen in a long time. It was extremely high level play from both players. Yeah, Yeah, it was a hell of a game. Go watch it. So it looks like Zeke is going... Oh, no, never mind. He's got overpull going on here. And we've got the Forge for Gundin, who I guess is going to put the gateway right there. And that looks like a fairly legit wall. Okay, cannon. Yeah, that's fine. And hatchery. 11 hatchery. He had idle lings. I don't know why exactly he didn't use them, but I mean, I am quite confident he was not just like forgetting about those lings. That would be pretty odd. They were in very plain sight the entire game. Whoop, and Zeke's gonna back off here. And we should see a gateway at some point. There we go. Oh, what? What? Okay, so this is a really shitty wall. It'd be really funny if Zeke just ling all in and just ended it. Gap, gaps, gap. You'd need so many probes to actually block this. Need like an army of probes to hold this off. It's on my YouTube channel. And it's also in the, if you go look at the thread, you can find it there. A core being built, and oh, Zeke killing the probe now. We can see Lair's on the way for Zeke, getting his ling speed out also. And core timing very slow for Gundin. Like I said, normal is Stargate starting right about now. And oh wow, okay. Gundin is going to be Mr. Tricky here and sneak a base on the back ring of Outsider. So that's not going to be easy for Zeke to scout. And if Gundin gets away with it, it could surprise Zeke by having an awkward number of units and trying to block the ramp, and he gets it! The probe is denied! Will not get to see the main. Spire going down for Zeke. No nat gas, no gas at third, so probably not Muta. Stargate is finally started, but you can see the Spire's well on its way here, so the timing just fine for Zeke. Zeke tries to run a ling in, but doesn't really get too much vision. A third closer to his base because it wouldn't be a hidden third. What? Or what do you say? Wait, yeah, Gundin. If he took a third close, it wouldn't be a hidden third. This is absolutely, I think, intended to be a hidden base. If he takes a close third, Zeke's going to scout those kind of naturally. Whether he's going to scout this just incidentally by a random floating overlord or something, but you know, the odds of this base getting scouted way back here are pretty low. So he's got some probes up and mining. It would be easier to defend, but I don't know about equally hidden. Because if you take if you take one back here by the minerals, like I don't know how much. Like if you take one back here, it's still basically as hard or easy to defend as that one. But if you take, like, you know, a third that's over here or over there or something, well, that's Zeki's. But if you take something like this, Zeki's probably going to scout this. It's usually pretty common to scout those. Robo facility going up here. So we're going to have Sarah Reaver from Gundam. Alright. That kind of aligns with this. You'll have a little extra money for cannon dump, and you can get Reavers over. And Sarah Reaver's a pretty nice build on Destination, or Outsider, if you can execute it well. So you can getting Hydra out. If you can execute it well, because you know, you've got all these rings, so you can just kind of fly around and be really good with harass, and Zerg can't get ground units over. So it's possible we could see a crazy game from Zeki where he goes Mass Muta and then adds Devourers and stuff like that. It'd be kind of fun to see a full air game like sometimes you used to see in Kespa leagues. Intercept. Oh, Scourge are dumb, but still gets the intercept. Alright, so Cannon is up and he's getting the support bay back here. No shuttle yet? Or is this just... no, that's a probe. What? Okay. And out comes a Reaver. But that's a lot of Hydra at the front. This Reaver needs to get out. Drone transfer, and Zeki is in pretty full-scale Hydra production. That's still a lot of Hydra at the front. Okay, Reaver's out, but Zeki's going to be able to snipe it if he wants to before it gets Scarabs. He's going for it. He goes for the Reaver snipe, and the Scarab comes out, but Zeki is able to pull back and shouldn't... oh, nope, that Scarab's actually going to explode. Zeki comes back too soon, but there's only one cannon at the front. Is he just going to bust the front of Gundam and win here? In spite of the third base, it's looking pretty probable. Remember, this is not 3-hatch Hydra. This is 5-hatch Hydra of production, so he can siphon in a bunch of Hydras if he wants, although it looks like he's keeping a few back at home, but even this might be enough. He's got access to the natural. The forge is about to fall. Is it being rebuilt anywhere? I keep hearing this building being built. No, he's building the last few cannons he can. No, there's no rebuilding of the fort, so he's got to hold, he's got to buy time for these cannons, but there's going to be so many Hydra from Zeki coming in. I have a strong feeling Zeke's just going to have this. He's going to snipe the Robo Bay before the Reaver comes out. The probes are pulled, but they can't glitch the Hydras out of the way. He's got no vision for that. And there's only 2 slow lots defending. The Corsairs coming in, but of course he's trying to micro fiercely at home, so the Corsairs are just dying. Doesn't have the multitask to keep Corsairs alive accurately while doing precision defense against Hydra, so all the Corsairs now wasted. And Gundam's build is certainly done for, so even if Zeki somehow doesn't kill him outright, he's still going to be in an awful position. He's lost every aspect of his build. In fact, he doesn't have a gateway. He can't make units. And he lost his forge. I think Zeke's just going to win outright. There's really no hope. The last cannons are falling, and it looks like LRM is going to 4-2 in the Grand Finals, and they are going to be your STL Season 1 champions, showing again that they are the team in the foreign scene to be feared. And there it is, the GG from Gundam. LRM on top after a little bit of a tenuous season where for a second it was actually doubtful if LRM was even going to make the playoffs, but they bring together their A game for the playoffs and take the #1 spot. So there it is, 4-3. LRM is your winner. So thank you all for watching throughout the season. It has been